able to integrate into Zoom. It's really cool.
Second session of the afternoon, and Cassie from Cohort Wholesale, our sponsor for this session, will talk to us about some of the products that they have to offer. And go ahead, Cassie. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. So I'm actually just going to share my screen here.
Looks good.
Perfect.
Yeah,
and
yes.
I'm also going to stop video because I don't have the most reliable internet. So maybe that will help. But hello and goodbye. So let's get started here. Thanks for letting me do a little presentation. So my name is Cassie Russell. I am the horticulture technical specialist for Cohort Wholesale here in Ontario. And we're one of your session sponsors. So if you haven't heard of us before, you're probably not alone. We are a new company. So we're a wholesaler of outdoor fruit and vegetable crop protection products. And we work with the established distribution and retail channels to help service key markets. So we also help with maximizing in-field performance of products on our portfolio. So we offer that tech support for our suppliers so we can help farmers like yourselves through the growing season. So today I was just going to take a few short minutes to introduce or refresh on a couple products in our portfolio. First, I just have one slide to share on Millstop, and then I'm going to revisit a little bit of information on a new biofungicide called Stargus that Corey actually introduced earlier this morning. So I think it's a really great product. It's going to be a really helpful tool for both conventional and organic growers. So happy to take a little bit of a deeper dive into that product this afternoon and maybe even answer some lingering questions. So first off, Millstop, it's a fungicide from Bioworks that targets powdery mildew on contact. It's potassium bicarbonate, so an alternative mode of action if you're looking for something to rotate or tank mix with for resistance management. It's different than your baking soda you get at the grocery store, as it's already pre-formulated with a surfactant. Really the main thing to note here is if you've already been using Sirocco in your program, that product won't be available starting this year, so Millstop is a direct replacement for that. So next, as promised, I want to just kind of revisit Stargus a bit here. So it's a product from Marone Bioinnovations. It's a biofungicide that's labeled for black rot and downy mildew in grapes. And some key highlights here. So it's a really excellent tank mix partner or rotational partner as part of your disease program. And it can be a really useful tool incorporated into either a conventional or organic production system. So since it's a biofungicide, it's MRL exempt. It also has OMRI certification and hopefully getting that EcoCert soon as well. So Corey, as I said, covered some details earlier, so I might just kind of whiz through this a little bit. So Stargus, it's a group BM02. It's another Bacillus product, specifically Bacillus amyloliquefaciens. I hope I'm saying that right. It comes in a convenient liquid formulation. And the way it works is those Stargus spores, they colonize treated parts of the plant. They form a protective shield against the disease. And then the good spores will also go to work producing fungal peptides to help prevent future infections. So Bacillus products probably aren't new to any of you. Most of you, I guess, use them already in your programs. So we've captured a little summary here of some of the other Bacillus products on the market and what they're targeting. So you can see Stargus is filling that gap for downy mildew and black rot, where some of those other products, they target powdery mildew and botrytis. So definitely a great new tool to fill that gap. So we have just a couple slides to show you of data. We have here a graph showing percent incidence of downy mildew on grapes, and this is 2 years worth of data. So you can see just using Stargus alone, you have some downy mildew suppression, but when this product is really where it's really going to bring value is in rotation with other products. So we see here a conventional rotation of Randman and Revis. This is going to do a good job of controlling downy mildew. And if we look at the bars on the far right, by adding Stargus into a rotation with EBDC and Revis, so incorporating a new mode of action, you're actually, you're still getting equal control of downy mildew. So really adding Stargus into your rotation It can allow you to save those conventional chemistries for when you really need them. And also another added bonus is it gives you a bit more flexibility since to do activities in your vineyard, since it has a really short REI, so 4 hours or one stride. So just some more data here for black rot control on foliage and clusters. Same thing here with our 2 years worth of data. Stargus alone has some good suppression on black rot, but once again, its strength here is when we look at it in combination with some other chemistries. So when we're rotating, we're not losing any sort of control, maybe even arguably a bit better control, but although I don't think those differences are really statistically significant. So just a few best management practices to share here. Thorough coverage is important for a product like Stargus, since it's a biological product. It really needs that plant tissue to cover to allow it to protect and create the peptides. As mentioned before, its strength is really in a rotation, but it can be tank mixed as well. Two things I would just like to point out, though, is if you are going to use copper, you should observe a 7-day interval before or after copper for maximum efficacy. And if you happen to be using a peroxide-based spray in your program, such as oxidate, I wouldn't recommend a tank mix of Stargus as well, since oxidate has that antimicrobial activity, so it'll kill all your good bacteria. It's rain fast in 1 hour. REI, as I mentioned, is quite low, 4 hours, and then it has a 0-day PHI, so you can use it right up into harvest if you need. Always good to just revisit order for tank mix. So remembering the Whales acronym. Stargus is a liquid, so it's going to go right in the middle there. And I know it's nearing the end of the day for everyone. A few of us might be feeling some Zoom fatigue. I know we'd like to be in person more than on a video call here, but if you tuned out, I'm just going to say, here's your one little summary slide to take away. So it's a fungicide that targets black rot and downy mildew, excellent rotational or tank mix partner, and it can be a really helpful tool in either a conventional or organic production system with OMRI certification, and hoping to get eco certs shortly as well. So that's all I've got today. If you have any questions about Stargus, Millstop, or other products in our portfolio, I'll be hanging around at the virtual conference here, so please feel free to shoot me a message. And then I've also put my contact info up there, so you can call or text me or shoot me an email. And then if you'd like to look at our whole portfolio of products, you can go to our website there, www.cohortwholesale.com. And if you're on social media, you can give me a follow on Twitter as well. Yeah, I really hope that I get a chance to connect with some, if not all of you this season. I'm just located in Guelph, so not too far from Prince Edward County. So hopefully we can meet in person sometime down the road when things are a little safer.
Yes, thank you, Cassie, for this presentation. So I have a question. So how long has Stargus been on the market? Is that a new product, or I mean, for those who might have missed Corey's talk this morning, is it a new product or?
Yes. Yes. So it's new to Canada. So sorry, anyway, cut you off there. Yeah, this is its first year on the market in Canada. We had some research authorization trials last year as well, and it had some really good performance. So
great, thank you. So we're gonna move on to Nancy Stonelake's talk. For those who are looking forward to talking to Tina Wall, she will be available tomorrow to do a quick presentation about VineTech. And Nancy will talk to us about some of the funding opportunities that you can get through research. Please, Nancy, ready?
Yep. You can hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. We had a lot of problems in our trials. So.
Yes, but third time is the charm, right?
Well, this is the important one, right?
That's right.
So I just wanted to talk to you today about some funding opportunities to help you fund research within your businesses. And there we go. Okay. I think I'm going to get rid of my participant screen because it's going over my slide deck. Um, so IRAP is the Industrial Research Assistance Program. And over the past 15 years, we've contributed over $2.5 million to research projects at wineries. Unfortunately, most of those have been in the Niagara area. Very few have been in Prince Edward County. And I think, don't you want a piece of the pie to be able to do your own projects and learn more? So I'm an industrial technology advisor. My background is in software development, but I work with a lot of other really smart people that, they're generally people from research backgrounds and entrepreneurs, and we have expertise within agriculture and engineering. So IRAP is part of the National Research Council. And generally, the National Research Council is thought of as a network of research and facilities. So we're Canada-wide, and we have institutes that do basic research to the benefit of Canada. I'm with the Industrial Research Assistance Program, and we deliver funding on a national basis. We're almost 75 years old. So, we kind of picture ourselves as, the best kept secret in government. We've contributed over 300 million towards research projects every year. And we work with over 8,000 SMEs every year. So small to medium-sized enterprises. The budget that was announced this week, the government is planning that we would deal with an additional 2,500 firms. So we're talking over 10,000 companies that we would work with. As a program, our mandate is to stimulate wealth creation for Canada through innovation. We want to accelerate the growth of small and medium-sized businesses by providing them a suite of services and funding to help innovation. And our vision is to be the most impactful program of its kind in the world. We want to be the place where business comes to first when they're looking to upgrade their skills and be commercially successful. So who are we working with? We need companies that are for profit. They have to be incorporated, so be a corporation within the laws of Canada. And we're looking for companies that are willing to grow. They need to have between 1 and 500 employees. We're generally looking at manufacturing or software or engineering companies. So wineries would fall under manufacturing generally. And you need to be able to fund a portion of the project costs. So we need to establish some mutual trust, work together on projects. And you should understand that we never fund things 100% and we don't provide money up front. Again, our goal is to create jobs, wealth, and expertise for Canada. So the way we do that, we provide funding for research projects. We also provide advice and connect you to researchers and knowledge. Again, we serve over 8,000 clients. We can help act as a link into the global value chain by helping you find partners in other countries. And we also have a youth employment strategy to help you fund the hiring of a young graduate. So when we're looking at funded IRAP projects, we're looking for companies that want to undertake R&D, and they should be developing a new product or a new process or improve an existing product or process. We're looking for things that are technically risky and the results are uncertain. And we prefer things where we can get a measurable result. So again, what you're getting out of this, you should be able to grow in terms of new jobs and increase sales. After the project, you should be more competitive. You should be able to attract and retain great technical employees. You should improve your productivity, be able to utilize new technology, and where appropriate, acquire patents. So the way we work together is we would determine a scope of work on a project, determine a start date. Our contributions start after that. So what we provide in funding is called a contribution. It's not a grant. There's some technical wording there. Any intellectual property that's generated, you get to retain, and you control the project. My job as an ITA is to follow up with you on a monthly basis. You're going to submit a claim to IRAP for the money that you've spent on the project, and you're going to file a status report every month. Because we work in research, our project management is flexible. We understand that things change. And we know that your industry is changing. So what does the future hold for your industry? So some things that have come up are like drone deliveries of wine. The possibility that maybe glass bottles will be eliminated and you'll go to more starch-based bottles. Lots of people have been talking today about augmented reality wine labels. There's also the possibility of robot sommeliers, so that you're having, a robot in your tasting room to recommend wines, much like the wine advisor. There's the potential to sell wine through vending machines by using biometric scanners to make sure that purchasers meet legal requirements. And there's also, incorporating virtual and mixed reality technologies in your marketing and tasting room experiences. But I need you to tell me what your ideas are. Generally, when I'm talking to clients, I say, tell me what you need to do, and we'll see if there's a place we can fit it in. So now I'd like to open the floor and see if anybody has any questions. I haven't been looking at the chat, so we'll have a look. Okay.
So does anybody have a question or comment? Or thank you, Nancy.
Okay.
Anybody? Actually, I just have a question. Is that how does the process work? Like, if I have an idea, for example, do we work together towards something that's a proposal, or do I come with my own proposal?
No, normally to start off the process, we would just, have a chat about what it is you want to do, and we'll kind of ballpark what it is you need, what the scope of the work is going to be. And from there, you could enter a formal proposal on our web portal, because I would need to set you up as a client, and then we go from there.
Yeah. So I have a question here in the chat. So would you have any real life examples of ag or food experiences?
So
like, how different is it from the SRED?
Okay, so I can't give you any specific examples because anything that you tell me is confidential. We do proactively disclose firms that we're giving funding to on our website. And the biggest difference between IRAP and SRE and ED is that we fund in a much shorter time frame. So for SR and ED, it's a return on a taxable yearly basis. So because IRAP would determine a scope of work and a project start date, as soon as you submit your claim and it's approved, you get the money back. Now,
Right. Mhm.
because we don't fund 100%, whatever you still pay towards the project, you can still claim for SR and ED. So you can get a double benefit.
Right. So if we have a project, do we have to partner with somebody else, or is it our own project within the winery itself or the vineyard?
That's up to you. So
Okay.
I know Theory was talking about Flash Dante processing techniques, and I'm sure that's
Yeah.
fairly new to most people. And if you wanted to do a small batch to try it out, you could certainly engage his firm to work with you to do a trial run. And that is potentially something that IRAP can participate in. So what we can fund is we can fund the time for people working on the project and any consulting or service fees. We can't fund capital or equipment.
So that could be a student. Could that be a student? Does it have to be a staff member? Or it
Um,
doesn't matter
it,
either?
it needs to be people that are employed with the firm.
Okay.
But I mean, if they're a summer student and presumably you're giving them a wage, then that works too. We can contribute toward their salary. For the youth employment strategy, that's to hire a young graduate. So it would be somebody that's completed their education and is looking to go into the workforce.
I have a question here in the Q&A. So are there projects that you have funded in the county?
Yes, there are.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can you
Again, we
disclose
come
them
back
or
to,
no? It's not.
I can't
You
reveal
can't
everything.
talk about them.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, and then there's somebody here who says that they're a nurse scientist and they just started doing some terroir research in the county. And so they have some drone surveys and some field characterization and geochemistry work. And so would that
So
would that
that
be
could potentially,
innovative?
so that could potentially fall under an IRAP project. Again, we'd be looking at what are the goals? How is it going to help your firm increase production or sales? So
Right.
if you're looking at, okay, we want to characterize different areas within this farm and say that this terroir is, more suitable to this type of, we believe this type of terroir is more suitable for this type of grape. And, that's kind of your hypothesis.
Right. So, so usually when you have those projects, you have you said that you're flexible about how long, so you can get funding. So can it be 5 years or more? Or is that like you review it regularly and how does
Yeah,
it work?
we would review it regularly. If, a project needs to be as long as it needs to be.
Yeah,
So obviously in agriculture, that
yes.
may mean multiple years. And
Oh,
just so you know, my office, when I'm in my office, I am located right here in the county. I'm at
oh,
the Edward Building on Main Street. Um, I've had a place in the county for over 20 years, so I'm familiar with the area.
yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
So if you want to get in touch with me, the best way is by email. And my email is very long, but I will post it up on the website and make sure it's there.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else has questions or comments? Okay,
Okay, thanks everybody.
thank you, Nancy, and thank you for everyone for attending this afternoon session. And please head over to the exhibition and to the trade show, and hopefully see you tomorrow morning. So we start a little bit early. I think it's. Let me just look at my agenda. The session starts at 9 with Wendy McFadden. Okay. Take care, everybody.